Hi, and welcome back. Thank you very much for joining us once again at Blame the Dice Wargaming. Today's unboxing video will be the Phase 2 clones. These are for the Republic. We're going to get the box open, take a look inside, see what comes with them, see what they look like in the sprues and when they're assembled, and just talk about how they might get used on the tabletop. See you in a second. So here we are, Phase 2 clone troopers. Let's get into them. Oh, slice my box open! If you just watched my two battle droid unboxing, I was just banging on about how I tried to preserve the boxes, and there I am cutting right into it. Oh, FFG, I do love the artwork you do. Anyway, let's crack on. Right then. There's your stuff. Box, go away. You are surplus to requirements at this moment. Okay, standard fare. I always say this, don't I? Standard fare. Good detailed instructions, front and back components, different arms, lots of variability, lots of different heads. Let's see what we've got on inside. Oh, there we go. This is really blowing these ones up. Oh yeah, some more options with the heads and heavy guns. Looks like you can interchange that one between the Z6 and the and another gun. I'm not sure why you would, but there you go. Yeah, there we go. And yes, check out this. There's some kind of mortar which looks like you can have built as a standing, ready to go, possibly launching into the air type thing, versus being scrabbled on this guy's back. I love that. And of course, new rules just because. And if you ever trouble yourself to read the playtesters, there they are. There's a few names on there. If you listen to podcasts, you go through it and be like, oh yeah, I know that guy. He does 5th Trooper, or he's on Legion Outriders, or he's on Jedi, what's it called? I do forget, there's so many of them. Some excellent work out there though, guys. Right, we'll have a look at the cardboard and the cards. But here is the, let's just say the main attraction. Right, let me move this stuff out of the way so we can see it in the light. Don't want us to lose focus on it. There we go. Very nice, very good. Moving to hard plastic's been such a good thing for FFG. It's made everything so much better, and the quality's been immaculate since. Really looks like they're very clean. There isn't going to be an awful lot of filing to be done there to get them ready to get them on underneath your air gun or on the table to spray them. So that's one sprue. And your next, oh, let the light catch up. There we go. Looks like this must be your mortar launcher, different configurations. Yeah, oh good, I like the backpacks. Don't know why, but I just find them very appealing. Heavy weapons, bases, all looking good. And once again, looks like there isn't going to be much cleaning up to be done on there to get them ready for the table. Excellent. Let's have a look at them put together. Okie dokie. So here is what you're getting for your money. 60 points, so they are not cheap by anyone's imagination. 4 minis per squad, 2 health, 2 courage, which is going to be great, red defense dice, thank goodness, because for that kind of point cost you need them to be durable. Nothing on the convert to surge on attack or defend, which is a bit alarming for those kind of points, but I think we'll find out why in a moment. They have got speed 2 movement, standard, your standard clones, range 1 to 3 black dice weapon, and a 1 black dice unarmed. I've almost a full spectrum of variable things to upgrade them with: grenades, gear, is that command? I think it is. Either way, it's the ones where you can give them various bits and pieces to make them even fancier. An extra trooper, and of course your heavy weapons trooper up there. So we'll talk some more about what their options are, but let's just have a quick look at the text on the cards. So fire support, we probably all are very familiar with this by now. It is the clone party piece. But when another friendly unit performs a ranged attack, if you have a face-up order token, so your unit's got one of them and someone else is shooting, you may forego your turn essentially by flipping that down to add each of your eligible weapons, or sorry, each of your eligible weapons to the attack pool if you do flip your order token face down. And essentially that means you can add, let's just say there's 4 people still alive and you got your black dice, you can be adding 4 additional black dice to someone else's attack, and that's even before you start worrying about suppression. So that can be really good if, say, somebody's been piling that suppression on you. The only thing is you sacrifice having an order that they're ready to go with to not being able to go. Now, reliable 1. This is going to make these guys excel. And that is at the start of the activation phase, gain 1 surge token. So every time you activate, every time you start a new turn, give them one of them. Just give them one straight away. So that is, yes, whilst they don't have a conversion there, but if you're rolling defense, you can add an extra defense die if you get a surge to result by spending that. Or if you're not defending that turn and you're attacking, you can spend that to convert one surge on the attack dice to a hit. So essentially they don't have it native, but they do have this baked in, which makes them very, very, well, reliable, as I think you can see by the keyword. Anyway, let's get into the cards. So these guys are a bit expensive, 15 points a pop. So here you go, you can add your extra unit there, see how the icons match up, and 15 points is what you're paid to make this a 5-man squad if you so choose to, which you might well do. Now, I'm going to get straight into heavy weapons. Let's start with the one we've seen before. This is old news for us all who have been playing this game for a while or have even looked ever at Legion, because this is the standard fare for your Rebel Alliance, this is your standard fare for your Phase 1 clones. This is your Z6, but that is a lot of white dice. The white dice might be not great dice. There's a rhyme that rhymes with white, which would be a good way to describe how unreliable they are. However, with a surge token, is going to help you generate more hits than you would do otherwise. But there we go. That's one of your options for 27 points. So quite expensive, but can be very, very good. And I've seen the variants on those really do something fancy before, where sometimes I wish I'd been shooting at something with armour because I've had so many crits on it. So, don't look a gift horse in the mouth because white dice are not great dice. Okay, so next up, the Phase 2 Mortar Trooper. So this is that one that we were looking at with the dual configurations on the model. So this is add one Phase 2 Mortar Trooper mini, blah, blah, blah. We know that. Now this had critical 1, which is whilst converting offensive surges. So a surge is when you're attacking. Convert one surge result to a crit result. So let's just remember what that means. So they've got reliable 1. So they've already got this. So they can spend, even if you blanked out on these guys, you could spend one of them to turn a surge into a hit. And because it's got critical 1, you can spend a result on the dice to make it a crit. So essentially these guys are going to be delivering some extra firepower through. And for 25 points, bear in mind that your extra trooper was only 15, you're only paying 10 points for 2 more black dice, which is brilliant. And it's range 2 to 4. So really, really good. I'm very much a big fan of this. And then we move on to it being suppressive. So after you perform an attack, the defender gains 1 suppressive token. So essentially, they will be having the suppression doled on them for being attacked by this. They'll get the 1 for being hit, and then they'll get the 1 for the suppressive. So essentially, you can be using these guys to some advantage. Now, downside is, it is cumbersome. Now, the text isn't on there, but that means you cannot move and shoot. So this guy, if he moves, he isn't shooting that turn, which is a shame. However, you take the rough with the smooth. I think for 25 points, that is incredible good value. Right, let's move that one out of the way and start looking at what else you get. So some stuff is going to be very familiar to us. Here we have impact grenades, which is essentially a 5-point upgrade. Allows you to make a range 1 attack with a single black dice, gaining impact 1. Now don't forget, if you've got 4 people in your squad still, and you attack all of them with this, that is 4 black dice you'll be rolling, or with impact 1. And the ability to convert, which therefore ability to convert hits to crits. So essentially, if you're close enough to a vehicle, you could be rolling a lot of quite impactful dice at it. Whether or not you'll be getting these guys close enough to a vehicle, or if you'll be keeping them back because they are going to be supporting your troop with a mortar, is anybody's guess. But another option you can take with you, and you get it in the box, so why not? Grappling hooks. So you gain expert climber, which thank goodness it's got the brackets on there because I don't remember what it would be otherwise. But when clambering, do not roll defensive dice or suffer wounds. For these guys, 3 points is a great investment if you are someone who likes to scramble up and around terrain. Because when you clamber ordinarily, you'd roll a white dice, and on a face-up result, you would lose a mini basically. So the chance of that is kind of remote. But for the points you're paying for these guys, it's gonna hurt if you lose a 15-point mini because they fall off a building or a rocky outcrop that they're going up. So that's not bad. 3 points, a worthwhile investment if you have got the spare points to spend on them. Okay, and next up is Overwatch. Now this is one of your training upgrades, I think that's what it's called, and you gain Sentinel. So just to remind you, Sentinel is where you get Standby, but it extends up to range 3. So standby, so you can put your standby token on, and if somebody performs an action or moves into a range 1 to 2 of you, you can attack them. This gives you that at range 3. So these guys can really sit back and do an awful lot of support if they have this, and they could be ploughing in at range 3, or their black dice, or the dice from the mortar, or the dice from a Z6, and they're all doing it at range 3, which could be a lot of dice, particularly in the way that we're seeing a lot of play right now of droids. That could be enough to bring a squad down. That could be significantly impacting against the Empire, put a bit of suppression on them, or for rebels it could really wreck their day. But some really nice stuff. Okay then, so we're coming towards the end, so we'll just have a quick look at the tokens you get. Of course, you get some suppression ones. So they've got a 3 suppression one there, which kind of suggests that these guys will be dealing out a lot of suppression, plus 2 individuals. You've got 4 surge tokens, you've got a aim token, a suppression token, a dodge token, and of course you've got your order command token. So everything you need to know about these units. I'm really looking forward to playing with these. I mean, I suppose that goes without saying. I wouldn't have bought them if I didn't. But I've got 2 squads of them, and I'm really looking forward to getting them on the table. So let's see what they're going to look like on the table. So here we go. This is what the unit looks like put together. This is your unit leader. Really nicely detailed. I've already started doing some filing down on these, which is what this bits and pieces are there. But it's so minor that it was no effort whatsoever just to do the small stuff on this guy. But very nice dynamic pose. Of course, you can position the head around, the arms got a bit of movement to it, not much, and that one is essentially going to have to be there. So a little bit of a limited position, but you have got the range of heads. You could have put a regular person's head on there so you can see your normal clone. But I went for the helmet. I reserved that for my named characters, so it's just Rex right now. But nice miniature. So that's your unit leader. You've got a number of clones. So if one of these guys' heads fall off, it's almost a statistical certainty at this point. He's at such a weird angle. Doesn't look right. Looks like he's had an accident. But a nice dynamic pose. Running and gunning. Getting into the action. So we'll see what else we've got. Yeah, another kind of static one. But looking down the barrel of his gun. Looks quite threatening, looks quite cool, to be honest with you. I like the look of that one. That's got a nice posture and pose to it. And then, of course, another singular one doing more of the same, looking down the barrel of the gun. It is a different pose. Whilst they might be very similar, they're not quite the same. But being able to move the heads around will kind of give even someone like me with 2 boxes the ability to create the impression of some variance. I mean, I saw on Facebook yesterday that people had been doing some kind of cuts and changes to accommodate their models. They look different. I'm not going to be bothered doing that. But at the same time, if you want to, go for it. People are doing it. Go check it out on the Legion mod pages because it's all there. I'll try to link in or show some on the Blame the Dice Wargaming page as well. Since I'm talking about it, I'll try to link it in so you can see what I'm rabbited on about. So that's your 5th trooper for the sake of if you're going to choose to upgrade. So just remember what their heavy weapons were. You've got your Z6. Here he is. Looking very cool. He's not been fully glued because obviously I want to paint him. But a very nice pose. That gun will be in a much more elevated position, so he looks like he's shooting down the range rather than casually chilling with it resting on his lap. He's got the backpack on as well, so he looks like a much more sturdy guy. Really is packing some serious heat to bring the enemy down. Sorry, the imagery was a bit blurred then. I was struggling to get the focus. And then the mortar. Now, I could have had this fixed to his back, but I decided I wanted to do it in the dynamic. He's loading it in pose. So in his right hand, he's got a grenade or mortar that you can make out there that he's feeding into the open hole. Now, that open hole is crying out to be drilled, so you can actually look like he's feeding a mortar. But there we go. He's got his gun on his back. So he's still got that, and of course you've got the ability to have him just carrying his gun across his chest with across his chest with the mortar strapped to his back. So I've done my first guy like this. My second one will have the mortar on his back, just so I've got a bit of variance. But an excellent mini. Really like that guy. This was a bit fiddly to put together, but with plastic glue you could you put a dab of glue there, you put a dab of glue there, and you've got time to wiggle it around so it's in his hand. And the more you've got the time, you've got the play to get it right. So whilst it was a bit fiddly, it wasn't a big deal, and I'm no expert. Oh, your heads came off. Right then, so in terms of gameplay, I'm going to be running these guys. I'm probably going to be running with a mortar. If I'm entirely honest with you, I think having that range 4 suppressive critical 1 is going to be great fun. I'm going to really quite enjoy having that. I think if I don't run them with that, I'll probably run them with Sentinel and the Z6 and using their reliable 1. And hopefully we'll have like aggressive tactics, so that's the command upgrade card for Rex or Obi-Wan, to give them the extra surges that they'll make up for their lack of native surges, where they'll end up actually getting a lot of hits, and hopefully if we're using fire support, we'll be killing units as they come into range before they get a chance to do any serious damage to us. That's my plan. Don't take my word for it. Get yourself a copy, get them on the table. I know during this quarantine time it's very difficult to get a game in, but TTS, or Tabletop Simulator, available on Steam, is really turning into a hot place right now. And if you watch this soon, I think they're just starting up their next Invader League, so be quick if you want to get access to that. Here I am plugging all these things I have no affiliation to, but I am a Legion player and I want to get games in, so I figured you should know about those too. Okay guys, that's it. I hope you're staying safe in this difficult time that we're all in, and I hope you're very well. Peace out guys, best of luck, and I hope to hopefully see you on the other side of a Legion table real soon. Thanks for watching. Go and like and subscribe for Blame the Dice Wargaming, for links to our videos, 40k, X-Wing, Armada, Malifaux, 40k of course, Blood Bowl, and so many games I can't even begin to list them all. Great people, lots of fun, and of course you can see more of me. Thanks for watching guys. Bye for now.